Well, first, security. Obviously, you want to have a safe place. A lot of people prefer the open locations because if it's cold and it's been a cold winter, you have to be able to make a fire and stay warm somehow. Access to, part of town. A lot of times people find shelters along the water because it's an old mill town, and there's built-in infrastructure along the water that's been run down, and you can make makeshift shelters. So, if your access to, if you're use the First Love, food pantry or certain food pantry, you want to have access to those types of services. Social services is down, not too far out of the way. So you want to be close enough to town, but far enough away from it for the safety reason, and that, also a place that maybe other people aren't going to bother you. It might be other people that are camping or don't have a place to stay, or it's going to be people that are, kids that are playing, or people are going to know you're there, and then you risk losing your, your shelter. There's a lot more than people think. Last year we had 685 homeless people in Cayuga County, and that's in our homeless management information system, so they're not made up. We have names, social security numbers, unduplicated. If you count the people that social services have that doesn't go through our system, it was 1,070, and almost a third of them were children under age 18. So that it's not your stereotypical, hey, it's a man, it's the person that has mental health or substance abuse, though some do, and there's many reasons why people are homeless, and really before the Great Recession, one of the big things was foreclosures, lack of job opportunities was huge. People that used to have manufacturing jobs, they went away. People split up. They were in multi-family homes, or they got divorced or whatnot, and they put pressure on that. Lack of health care, that was a huge one. Domestic violence is a huge issue as far as women go. So Cayuga County has almost double the New York State domestic violence rate if you take out New York City on reported cases. And we're struggling with that. So the things that people need to, if you're going to end homelessness, you need jobs, health care, and supports, and of course housing that's affordable. And that's really the biggest challenge, is that people used to be able on limited or fixed incomes to afford housing, and if you're making minimum wage, good luck finding some place, even in Auburn. So and that's a challenge. Well, I would say, like, when you think of the homeless, who do you think of? And so I thought about it, and I think of, it could be our fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, friends and loved ones, men and women that served and fought for our freedom in the military. In short, they have a connection to somebody else in the community. And they just did this great viral video. It happened to be a rescue mission in New York City, where they actually dressed up people's family members and put them on the street. And the family member would walk by and not acknowledge them, and then they set up this interview later with the family member, said, hey, talk about your family, and they're just saying, oh, this person means the world to me, and all this different stuff, and then they show them the video, and they'd be like, oh my God, that's my mom, or that's my brother, or that's my whoever, and it just changed things. And it just, once if people have some sort of connection, that's not just some abstract concept, homelessness, but hey, that's somebody I went to high school with. That's somebody, hey, that's somebody I went to my church, or I played baseball or in softball league with them. It changes things. And I think once somebody has a personal connection with them, they're not going to look away. They're going to be like, what can I personally do to help this person? And sometimes it could be simply just like, how you doing, and just taking the time to hear them. It's always, there's lots of things people can do. They can donate food or clothing or money and all this stuff and things. But the hardest thing is to invest yourself into helping them. Sometimes, because there are people, and if in Auburn, you're not seeing people hold up signs, right? You're not, and you'll see that in an urban area. If you go to Syracuse in the mall, you have people who work for food and all that. There's nothing wrong with engaging somebody to say, hey, just take the time to hear their story, and if it feels authentic to you, it could be, say, hey, if someone asks you for money, if they're hungry, I'd always say, I always buy somebody something to eat versus to do that. And then that got taken care of. And if you can just build up the relationship, because if somebody's literally, like a person who used to live out here, it wasn't the first or second or third time we talked to them. that person had to develop a sense of trust, because there's no change in anything without relationships. So the first thing is, if you can just start a basic conversation with them, get a sense, see if what they ask for help. If you ask them, hey, is there anything you need? Somebody might, hey, if you could help me get some housing, well, then you can call me, or you can call somebody, another one of the agencies, and we can come down. But you might need to come with us, because you're the one to set up that relationship. So again, relationships, relationships, relationships.